Okay, Glencoe fans, we'd like to thank our rider for joining us today, Alex Bowden. How you doing, Alex?
Doing great. How you doing, Will?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us. We're looking forward to you coming to Glencoe in about 2.5 weeks. It's getting down to the wire. It's coming close.
Yeah, I'm excited to be coming back to Glencoe. So last time I raced it was like 2008 as a Cat 3, and it's a hometown race. I grew up in DeKalb, Illinois, so it's always a good opportunity to come home, visit friends and family, and take part in an awesome race.
That's great. Yeah, it's going to be really exciting, and we're excited to have you there. Can you talk about your season so far? We know that you had a little crash. You hit the deck last week down in the Tour de Grove in St. Louis. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, well, so that's kind of been the story of my season so far. Been a few races here and there, Tour of Battenkill, Tour de Grove, and then even a race in Singapore, and each one has been kind of riddled with some mechanicals or crashes. So kind of looking forward to having a really good race at Glencoe. So, down in Tour de Grove, we just kind of overcooked a corner. I got pinched a little bit to the inside and went down. At Tour of Battenkill, it was one of those where it was just hit the deck coming back after giving a teammate the wheel, and unfortunately that one put me in the hospital. But I'm all recovered from that and ready to rock soon.
Well, we're glad happy to hear that you're recovered, and we're glad you're going to be recovered for Glencoe. You riding with Team Type 1. You and several other your teammates. You guys have diabetes. Can you explain to us and the fans at Glencoe what's it like being a professional athlete and having diabetes?
Yeah, well, I was diagnosed with diabetes about 11 and a half years ago, and it was a complete change to my life. I was pretty young then. I was in middle school, and so I was trying to be one of the cool kids and all that, and then you throw this disease in there that I've got to deal with every single day. It was a bit of a challenge, but at one it took a while to get kind of okay with it. But once I was okay with having it, realizing that it wasn't going to go away, I started controlling it a lot better, and therefore cycling got a lot better. Now it's just a matter with professional cycling. It's just a matter of making sure I check my blood sugars constantly, make sure that my the levels are okay, and I've given myself the proper amount of insulin, because otherwise, if I'm too low, then I'm not going to have the energy to race, and it's almost like it almost could be dangerous to myself and any of the riders in the field. If I'm low, if I'm too high, I'm not going to perform well. And when I say too high or too low, there's a proper amount of glucose that's supposed to be in your bloodstream at all times, and generally that is between 80 milligrams a deciliter and 120. So too low is anything below that. Too high is anything above about 160. So it's just a constant measurement. And
some of the symptoms, from your pancreas not, creating enough insulin is the drowsiness and the change of vision. Can you explain to us just a little bit of, how you deal with that during a race? What do you take? What do you eat? And how do you check that? You said you monitor it.
Yeah, so I've got a continuous monitor, which actually I left it downstairs. So but it's basically a little device about this big. It goes in the back of my pocket, and it'll tell me what my blood sugar is every 2 minutes. So during a race, it'll alarm if I'm going low or alarm if I'm going high, so I can feel it vibrate in my back pocket, and I can kind of tell, I know the feelings for when my blood sugars are going low, and if that's the case, I need to eat some food. If they're going high, generally that's something I'm not really going to deal with during a race too much, because obviously I can't really stop and take more insulin, in the middle of a crit, but I'll just continue drinking the water, put off eating a little bit of food until they start to come down, just to kind of keep it in that constant balance check. So.
And how many other riders for Team Type 1 do you guys is everybody a diabetic?
On the professional team, no, but everybody on the professional team has, the same message that we do, that if you control your diabetes, you can still be just as successful in anything that you set your mind to. Our development program, I think all of the riders on the development program do have Type 1, and the idea is to develop them into riders to go on a professional team. But on the pro team, I think there are 5 of us currently with Type 1.
And I'm sure, a lot of you guys do a lot of foundational work, with people help spreading awareness. Thursday, May 31st, I'm not sure if you're aware it or not, but Team Type 1 is going to be visiting and doing things for the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation up here in Glencoe. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the big things with Team Type 1 is getting that outreach to others that need help with diabetes. I mean, that was me when I was younger. When I was in high school, I didn't control my sugars at all, and just really could have cared less. And it took somebody to talk to about the diabetes that kind of got me healthy for it. So we do a lot of things like that. So like Thursday, there's the JDRF ride. And I believe there's also a support group that goes along with it. So we'll have some Team Type 1 members there. We'll be, talking to them hands-on, explaining this is why we choose to control our diabetes. This is what happens when it is. This is, kind of the alternative if you don't, and just kind of hopefully use that to motivate others. Last week down in St. Louis, we did a few other support groups, went to the JDRF tent at the race, talked to one of the local groups there with probably 20 or 30, Type 1s or athletes or a combination of both. And, just overall trying to help spread the message of, you can do anything with diabetes. You just have to properly manage it, and it's not a death sentence. So.
And we're excited to have you guys come to Glencoe and you guys be able to do that. Speaking of Glencoe, like I said, coming up in 2.5 short weeks here. You said last time you rode was in 2008. Your teammate Joe Elridge finished in the top 10 last year. Can you tell us a little bit about about Glencoe, about the track, about the race, and the overall atmosphere up there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to be back there. Like, I think a lot of times the bigger races in the Chicagoland area are always a lot of fun. They draw a lot of great spectators, and it's just a great atmosphere, especially for the racers later in the day. I mean, you guys have had the event for many years now, and it's continued to grow. And I just think that every year it's getting better and better. Like you said, Joe had a great race there last year. I'm hoping I can kind of have the same success that he did. He unfortunately can't make it back this year I think he's somewhere else, but yeah, I mean, it's always, these races around in Chicagoland area are always a great time, and Glencoe is definitely no exception to that rule.
Great, and like we said, we're extremely excited. Now, Alex, can you give out some social media handles that people can kind of read up on you before they see you in Glencoe?
Yeah, well, definitely. So anybody can go to teamtype1.org, and that's with the numeral 1 at the end. I have a Facebook, Facebook Alex Bowden, or I'm not sure the exact URL, like maybe Alex C. Bowden, or Twitter, Bowden1 is mine, or Twitter at Team Type 1. So there's various different things. I believe Glencoe also, you guys have your own Twitter account. I'm not sure if it is Glencoe Grand Prix or if it's Glencoe GP.
Our Twitter name is Glencoe GP, and then our Facebook page is just Glencoe Grand Prix. So you can check. Everyone else can also. You can check us out there on our social media handles. So everyone will be able to get informed and get ready for Glencoe. We're excited to have you, Alex. Thanks for taking the time out to do the interview with us, and we look forward to seeing you in short, just under 3 weeks here.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Will. I appreciate you taking the time. It's going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks a lot, Alex. We'll see you soon.
Have a great day.
You too.